Coming through with the strength in you. Dun 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 dun. Coming through with the strength in you. Yeah, you. Hey, coming through with the strength in you. What it do, boo? Coming through with the strength in you. You made it. Good job. Strength in you. Coming through. Strength in you. Coming through. Hey. Hey, boo. Hey. Woo, woo, woo. Happy Thursday. I know you weren't expecting to have me on a Thursday, but it's cool. This is a special show. I had to make it happen when I make it happen. It's not always about being on the exact day, even though it's going to be on the exact day on a Monday, because you got to come in with a little joy. Everybody need a little joy in their life. This is real life. This is a necessary situation, right? I'm giving you a piece of my joy. One day I'm gonna teach you about a chair of joy. It's real out in these streets, right? But today is one of them kind of shows. I got a whole vibe for you. I got a special person gonna come in, gonna share, shine a light, share his story, and kind of take over the show for a little bit. And all of my segments ain't quite ready yet, but I got a surprise for you because it's getting there. As you see, I got an intro. So I'm learning to restrain. Remember, I love to show you these things because it's important that people understand we all make mistakes. And it ain't nothing wrong with showing your mistakes and still living through your mistakes and laughing and enjoying life and sitting in your chair of joy with your mistakes because that's life, right? So what better way to showcase that by showing it? It's gonna be a wonderful show, though. I got the book. Don't focus on why me. I talk about this all the time, so I'm actually so excited to talk to him. I hope I'm saying his name right. I don't know if it's Quan or Kijuan. We're gonna find out because I butcher names all the time. This is why my little country self likes to say Sugarfoot and Sweet Face and Honey Love because those things I don't mess up when I say it. But names, it's the truth out here. But yeah, so and while I'm waiting for him to hop on in here, I realized on Monday what I did, and I was laughing at myself when I watched the video back. Because remember, I'm just now getting back into this since I had all those surgeries last year, right? So practice makes better. And when you stop doing something for a certain amount of time, they lie when they said it's like riding a bike and you're going to always know how to do it the exact same way. Mm-mm. You have to relearn because you slower. The coordination is off, especially for somebody whose brain already is creating new pathways. But anyway, I talk a lot. Y'all know that. That's why this show is an hour. Because I talk a lot. But it be good stuff. It's good talk. Anywho, last week's show, well, Monday's show, you could tell I was new back in the game because first of all, I didn't know how to put my intro and stuff on, so that wasn't there. But no, it was about stroke and how it don't discriminate. But I forgot to tell you the signs of certain things. And I think I told you about some stuff that causes it. But it was since I didn't practice for that part of this show. So that's why my memory is not fully clear about how I wanted to say it because that wasn't necessarily supposed to be a part of this. But like I said, wait a minute. I think he's here. Ah, yay!
Hello,
I'm
Joy.
on the stream. How you doing? Okay, before we continue, I need to find out, is it Quan or Kiwan?
Kiwan.
Perfect. Okay,
Yes.
that's the first way I said it, but then I said, I don't know. I'm always ruining people's names. How are you, Sugarfoot?
I'm doing pretty good. Where you get that from, Kevin Hart?
That's
he
my
always,
thing.
yeah, he
When
always
you
saying
talk to
that.
me, you will learn that is my thing right there. I love a Sugarfoot and a sweet face.
I must say, hey, that Sugarfoot.
I think that's just that's Southerner
Oh
in
yeah,
us.
yeah.
You from there, so you know what it's like and what
Oh
that is.
yeah. Oh yeah.
But, sir, I am so excited to talk to you. I'm going to be mumbling and fumbling over my words. I got to get my life together and keep it cute because just the title of your book made me want to do this. And I was like, yes, I got to do this and let them just kind of hide a show. Like, so tell us about you, Mr. Kijuan.
Mhm. Yeah, so originally born and raised in Durham, North Carolina. I'm a 90s baby. I was born in 91, so pretty young, as they say. Well, some try to say I'm wet behind the ears. I ain't that wet. I'm tell you right now. I done seen some things, I done done some things, all right? So, yeah, born and raised Durham, North Carolina. Graduated Southern High School. You can go Spartans. We call ourselves soldiers. When you play football, you turn into a soldier. But
Okay.
when you played everything else, you was a Spartan. Yeah, when you get on that field though, you became a soldier. And so anyway, I went from, graduating high school, excuse me, to wanting to, go into academia. I was looking to continue playing football in college. If I ain't if well, the schools that I went to, didn't recruit me, so I was gonna walk on. The schools that I wanted to go to were North Carolina State University or North Carolina A&T. And the reason I chose those two is because I wanted to study either computer engineering or software engineering, and those are the two best engineering schools in our state.
Okay.
So that's why I was looking at going to those schools. I was kind of leaning towards NC State because red is my favorite color. And I would love to wear a red uniform again because that was my school's color, my high school color too. It would have literally been like the same thing. I just to a different level. But you can't knock the HBCU. You know what I'm saying? So
Right. Gotta love
uh, I was gonna show them love too. And I think honestly, their engineering program might be better than states. So I'm just gonna say it like that.
it. Right.
And so, anywho, I was trying to go to college after high school. And it wasn't that I didn't have the academics because I did have the grades. Um, I had, the athletic ability, like I told you, I wanted to, walk on to the football team or whatever. The thing that messed me up was the school. An admission hiccup. That's never happened before in anybody's life, by the way. And so you'll learn about me pretty soon. I'm pretty sarcastic. But
Love it.
yeah, but anywho, so I call and this is A&T. I'm sorry, I gotta throw them under the bus this one time. But I call A&T off of the letter that they mailed to me. I didn't get this off a computer. I didn't pick this up from a pamphlet at a convention, a college fair, none of that. This is what you mailed to my home address and has my name written across the top
Right.
with your seal on the bottom, that Aggie on there with his arms spread out with NCA&T on it.
Mm.
Unless somebody else is, out here advertising or posing as you, y'all need to do something about this.
Right. Right.
Because I called y'all to figure out what I need to do next. I have no idea what to do in college. I don't know nothing about it. And so I'm calling trying to figure out where I need to be, freshman orientation, all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, okay, what did you say your name was? I'm like, Kijuan Amey. And everybody, so you asking me about my name is not the first time. I've been asked that all 33 years of my life. Okay. Either they ask it or they just butcher it and they let you correct them. So it's one of the two. That's the only thing that ever happened to me. So anyway, she's like, yeah, I don't see your name. I don't see it. I'm like, let me spell it for you because it's kind of unique. I spelled it out. Kijuan Amey. No, sir. I still don't see you. And I'm like, huh. And I'm looking down because I'm looking at this paper and I'm like, I didn't mail this to myself. So why do y'all not know who I am? Anyway, long story short, I said, oh, well, beat feet, I'm out of here. I didn't even, pay that paper any more mind. I hung up the phone. My mom said, "What's going on?" I said, "They don't know who I am."
Yeah.
She was like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, the same thing I said. They have no idea who I am, as if I sent this letter to myself."
Right.
And so my mom was like, "What in the world? See that what?" And my mom, you know how black mamas are.
Right.
They go
Right.
off. They go off.
Real
You know
quick.
what? I'm saying all of that because y'all don't want to know what she really said.
We already know.
Yeah. So anyway, I mean, literally, probably the next day or two, literally, I'm at the recruiter's office.
Okay.
And let me preface by saying it wasn't the Air Force recruiter's office. I was at the Navy recruiter's office first because I have quite a few Navy members in my family.
Okay.
Um, Even my younger sister, well, my youngest sister, she went to the Navy. Uncle, aunt, they met in the Navy. Had cousin out in California. He was in the Navy. I mean, my cousin that my aunt and uncle met in the Navy. They had a child. He was in the Navy. Then he got out, went back into the Coast Guard. I like
Oh, so
we just
everybody
military. Yeah, hey, we just military. We had
right.
Army, we had Marine. Then I broke the sound barrier with the Air Force.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
And the recruiter, what's funny is, so I told you I went to talk to the Navy guy. The recruiter talked me out of going to the Navy.
Uh,
Uh-huh.
they
If the
must have
Navy,
liked you, so they ain't
listen,
want you to do it
listen,
to yourself.
listen. If the Navy knew that he talked me out of that, they probably would have got rid of him. And how did he talk me out? I'm glad you asked, Joy. So he talked me out of the Navy by saying, well, basically by continuing to talk about jobs. Well, first of all, I know you need a job in order to get in the Navy. My question to you, sir, is what's this GI Bill thing and how does it work?
Yeah.
That's what I want to know. He's like pulling out a pamphlet. Oh yeah, here's the GI Bill. Man, you can read all about it. Read this, and this. I said I read that before I came here online. I don't get it. That's where you come in.
And he ain't know
Because
nothing.
I don't know if he didn't know it or he just didn't care. Like I said, I feel like at a certain point they just want to fill their quota.
That's true. That's the truth.
You know what I mean? So, um, he was in the back office, like on the back side of the room. So I don't know what that means in the recruiting world. Like that might be saying, "Hey, you ain't gonna never get no no recruits." You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it means. But anyway, he was ruining my day. He was literally ruining my day. I wanted to come, get some great information, get ready to join the Navy. I've been hearing all about it because I got nothing but family that know about it. Oh, I
Right.
forgot to mention my stepdad. He was Navy too.
Okay.
Yeah, he was in the
Literally
Navy.
everybody.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. So, anywho, um, I said hit him with one of those lines. I pull out my phone. Oh shoot! Oh, I forgot what. Hey, I'm sorry. I gotta go. I gotta go pick up my sister, and I forgot. And he was like, "Oh, dude, don't worry about it. Hey, take this pamphlet, and here's my card. Put that inside. Here you go. Here you go. Take that, man. You get back to me whenever you get a chance." I said, "Okay, yeah, I'll do that, Brooks." That was his last name. I can't forget it because that's my mom and stepdad's last name.
Okay.
So I'm walking out of the office, right?
Uh-huh.
That trash can right beside the door.
You tossed it right in there.
Dropped it right in there. And I kept right on out the office.
So
And
did you
so I didn't even leave the building now. Did not leave the building. I stayed in the building the same day. Made a quick left and a quick right, and I went straight into the Air Force recruiter's office.
I know that's right, because you was ready.
I
Just make
I
a
am
move.
first off, A&T done pissed me off. Secondly, the Navy recruiter done pissed me off. And lastly, I was tired of working fast food. Okay? I'm ready to make some real money and make a real change in my life. This ain't it. And y'all making me upset now.
Right.
And so I wasn't trying to come back empty handed. Is the other thing. I told my mom what I was going to do. She was like, "Oh, I can't wait to hear all about it." She didn't know she was going to be hearing about me coming back telling the story about the Air Force. she
Uh-huh.
she knew I was going to see the Navy recruiter. And so I go in the Air Force office, and on the wall, when you walked in, up at the top, it was a pennant, and it said "Community College of the Air Force."
Okay.
I said, "Well, that looks like a light bulb," you know. Bing. All right. So I walk further into the office, and nobody's in there as far as like recruits or nothing. And
Okay.
then I turn right, and I see two recruiters literally standing right outside their door, looking, talking to each other. And I walk in, I'm looking at them, they looking at me, I'm looking at them, they looking at me, and they finally say, "Can I help you?" And I was like, "Oh, I think I want to join the Air Force." And he's like, "Oh, come on in, let me talk to you." And so the whole atmosphere was different compared to when I went in that Navy's office.
They chill on you in the Air Force. They real kind of just laid back.
Well, it's laid back, but it was more welcoming. I
Got you.
felt welcomed. I
Right.
didn't feel like I was a number.
Got you. The
You know what
present.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like they were actually wanting to understand. Hey, man, what you want to do? What are you thinking about doing? Well, how are your grades? Oh, you play sports? That's awesome. Okay, what did you play? Like he was actually asking questions to build my resume for the Air Force. I think these jobs would be great for you. Like that's what he was thinking. That's how he was running the whole versus the Navy guy. Hey man, you should do this. Ain't you don't even know who I am.
Right.
How do you know what I want to do? And so I'm sitting there talking to Staff Sergeant Davis, and you know, I was he had me take this little practice test that they had like a little computer you could take a practice test, and I took the test and I said, "Hey sir, I think I'm done." And he's like, "Okay." So a little number up there, and I'm not you. I was pretty smart. I still am, and I'm not used to seeing a 50 on the test result. But what I didn't know was that was a good score for an ASVAB.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I didn't know, because that's actually the minimum cutoff requirement for the Air Force. You can't get in. Well, back then you couldn't get in unless you scored a 50 or above. So me taking just a practice test of walking in off the street, and I scored at a 50, having no study now. This is no study whatsoever. He was like, "Oh shoot." And I was like, "What happened?" I said, "I knew it was bad, man. I knew it, man. I'm never gonna get in the military."
Wow.
And he was like, "Hold on." And so he goes back in his office, reaches into his he has like the little file cabinet at the top of your desk and stuff that you
Uh-huh.
open up the little doors. He
Yeah.
pulled out something, and then he comes back in here. He's like, "Here, take this home." I'm like, "ASVAB for dummies." Hey man, I ain't no dummy. He was like, "No, no, 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 no. It's just an easier way to study. That's why they call it for dummies. It
Yeah.
makes the studying part easier." And he said, "Dude, I want you to study for 2 weeks hard, 2 weeks hard, and we're gonna take the real test." I said, "Okay." I said, "I just need to know one thing. Is this a good score or not?" Because he still hadn't said nothing.
Oh
He was
Lord.
like, "Oh," and that's when he explained that was the minimum requirement and all that stuff, blah blah blah. So I go take the real test, and when I tell you, he called me as happy as could be. He said, "Man, whenever you get, I need you to come down here to this office. We got to talk." I said, "Okay." And so I wouldn't do anything that day. I didn't. I think I either had to work later on that day or something because I worked nights at
Yeah.
Bojangles, and I went to his office during the day, and I said, "Hey, what's up?" He's like, "Man, sit down." I said, "Okay." You scored an 87. I said, "Oh, what?" He said an 87, and I was like, "All right." Is that
That's
out of
good.
100? And look, that's what I said. I said, "Is that out of 100?" He said, "Yeah. That's." Yeah. I said, oh, "Okay, I feel better."
Right.
And then he pulled out this stack of pages, front and back. It was like 8 pages, front and back, of jobs that I could do in the military, in the Air Force. And I was like, "Man, I'm not finna go through all these jobs." He was like, "You don't have to worry. I already went through them for you." I was like, "What you mean?" He's like, "Flip through them." And so someone would highlight it. And that's
Yeah.
how I ended up getting like my job. I was like, just flipping through. So I said, I definitely don't want to do that. I'm not being an aerial gunner. Oh no, you not shooting at me. No, no. You know, and so I saw well, actually I saw Loadmaster first, and I knew what that was. That's where you just, fly around, you load cargo onto aircraft and stuff.
Yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, that was not too bad. He was like, oh, I need to show you another one. And he flipped over a page and it said In-flight Refueling Specialist. I said, In-flight refueling. What's that? He was like, you don't know what that is. I wouldn't be in this office if I did. Like, what the heck, man? What is wrong with these people? So anyway, he turns around to his computer. This is the one time I was actually appreciative of this. And pulls up the actual job. And when I tell you I see this video and I'm just like, what? I'm like, that's not real. You're lying. And what in-flight refueling is literally what it sounds like. You refuel planes in mid-air. So
Oh,
it's
wow.
like pulling up to a flying gas station.
Right.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
sounds real fun, actually.
It can be real dangerous too.
I can imagine. I can imagine. My
Yes.
sister is in the army and she does the same thing, but of course she's on the ground, so that's safer. But
Yeah,
your situation, I can imagine is scary, but yet fun.
absolutely. I'll tell you this, in the air, you pass that fuel way faster than the people on the ground doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I can't even imagine really.
it's
That's like some
crazy
movie
how
stuff.
fast that stuff is moving.
How many
It's
miles an hour, you know?
well, I mean, how fast we're going is one thing, but I'm saying how fast the fuel is coming from our aircraft to the other one.
Oh, got you.
So, so the fuel, I'll give you the fastest rate is I think 7,000 pounds per minute.
Okay, wow. That is fast.
Yeah, hear that though, 7,000 pounds.
Yeah, that's crazy. That, that's
Seven
crazy.
thousand pounds of fuel per minute.
And how many minutes you doing that?
Well, so that's like I think the B-1 bomber, and usually when we offload to them, that's 100,000 pounds. So whatever 100,000 divided by 7,000 is, that would be that. That's how long it would take, if
Gotcha.
as long as we got good weather. You know what I mean?
Right, you gotta account for all that. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's crazy. Yeah.
yeah, fun times. So I was on the KC-135 strato tanker, and the reason I preface that is because that's the older one.
So,
It was built in 1955. Oldest people's grandma and grandpa. Okay, 70 years old, and it's still flying.
okay.
It's still flying and doing better than the newer planes. That's the crazy part. That's the crazy part. That it's doing better than the newer planes.
Not really, because the older things were really authentic, whereas the
Yeah,
new things are, of course, just for show mostly. Is it
man. They.
possible?
So here's how I lay it out. You put so much technology into the plane that you forgot to make it fly.
Right.
Who
That's,
we needed to fly first.
that's the
Like,
main thing you
it,
need.
it
And
ain't doing no good sitting on the ground.
right.
It's supposed to be in the air.
Seriously.
Yeah. So I had to get away from that thing, man. I said, like, I don't want nothing to do with the new plane. And I kept saying that even when they first started talking about that new plane. I said, I don't want nothing to do with it. And they were like, what, man? I was gonna be sitting upright just like I am right now, looking at a computer screen like I am right now, refueling the plane that's behind me. This feels weird.
That don't even sound right coming out your mouth.
Exactly.
So
So,
is that the thing you did for like 25 years?
well, I was only in for 10, but yes, that's what I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did it for 10 years. But listen, I played the drums for over 25 years. I've been playing drums for over 25 years.
That's crazy too. That's a whole nother level of man, that's a whole nother skill. That's a whole
Yeah. Been playing that since I was 7. Playing drums since I was 7. I still play too.
so that's just second nature to your
Oh
body.
yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I play at my church on Sundays.
Okay.
Mhm.
See you one day.
Say
Y'all go
again.
live.
Say that again.
I said I'm gonna have to hear you one day.
Oh, we got a YouTube channel. Our church has a YouTube channel.
Oh, you
The new,
definitely have to
I
send
think
the
it's
links.
called. It's either the New Shiloh Holiness Church or just New Shiloh Holiness Church. I can't remember.
You
But
definitely
yeah,
need to share those links.
definitely. I mean, I love playing, and even on uh my website, amymotivation.com, I have a video. I think 1 or 2 videos up there of me playing the drums,
Okay.
and that's just solo, like me solo playing with music. So yeah. But yeah, man, when I tell you that whole in-flight refueling thing is like a roller coaster ride,
Yeah,
I,
that's
I
nuts.
mean it.
That's
Literally, I
nuts.
mean it.
But we
It's so
gotta get into
crazy.
this. We gotta get into everything because I
Yeah, let's
am just
go.
when this your accident. Your
Yeah,
book has your picture. Well, not your picture, but your that's your bike.
that's Nina.
That's your actual bike that everything happened with. The
That's
whole
Nina.
everything. Tell me about this day.
That day, to be exact, is May 5th, 2017. What some might call Cinco de Mayo, I call my new life's journey.
And on that day, you know
Mhm.
how some people say they can feel stuff.
Ooh.
Like some didn't feel. Or was your day kind of like it was just a regular old day?
Um, I've never been asked that question. Now that you say that, I everything felt okay to me. I mean, I was doing what I wanted to do. Yeah, I ain't even fronting. I'm just, I went to, at the time I went to go have lunch with my girlfriend. But I was in my car at that time. I wasn't on the bike. She couldn't get on the bike because I was picking up from work and then going to take her back to work. I didn't want to smell like a motorcycle.
Right.
And so because she was in an office setting, and so I just picked her up in the car. I brought the car home, swapped out for the bike because it was in the garage, and went to go take some photos because I was a photographer. As you see from the book, those pictures I took, the one of the motorcycle and that backdrop, I took those pictures.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not something you
Yeah.
can find on Google.
Skills.
Hey, let's go. And so, um, I was going to take photos of my church, the outside appearance, because I
Yeah.
was the webmaster. So Amey Motivation is my second business. Kiwi Enterprise was the first, and that's where I did website design and management, social media marketing, and photography for small businesses and those alike. And those alike would be like my church, you know. And so, with that being said, I went from my apartment to the church. It's about a 10-minute motorcycle ride.
Okay.
And so that was no problem, man. The problem was it was too short. And I was like, this is too much of a nice day in North Carolina. It's spring, and I mean the trees are just blowing in the wind. The sun is behind the clouds. Hey, it was so nice. There was no 0% of chance in the forecast. I said 0% chance of rain in the forecast. And I said, this is perfect.
Yeah.
It was just too nice of a day. And I said, where can I go and get a good ride in and be okay with that? And so I said, I know, the lake. That's the background that you see on my book cover. That's where I used to go sit at, where I would go relax, get some peace, zone out, meditate. That's why I would go do all that stuff at that spot that you could see. And so that's about a 30-minute ride from my church, which is a good ride for a motorcycle ride. That's a pretty decent ride.
Yeah.
And it's like a back highway, like a back road, like to get to it. Highway 751. And I get there, no problem. Everything is still cool. But might I add, I had to go to work for the Air Force that weekend, that same day. So it's like maybe 1 in the afternoon. I'm pushing 2. And so I'm like, eventually I'm gonna have to, go home and get my stuff and head out.
Yeah.
Because I had to drive to the base. I didn't live near that close to the base. So I still had a little bit of a drive, about an hour and a half or so. So anyway, this car comes by on that highway 751, like, and it wakes me up, kind of brings me out of that zoned out mode. I'm like, oh shoot, what time is it? Uh-oh, gotta go. And so I jump back on the bike and take off. I take off down the highway. And as I'm going down the highway, I had Bluetooth capability in my helmet.
Right.
So I could listen to music, answer phone calls if somebody called me, even listen to the GPS if I needed it. But anyway, I'm going down this 2-lane road. So you got the lane that I'm in and then a lane of traffic that's coming past me. And also alongside this road is trees. And if you're from North Carolina or been in North Carolina, you see these really tall trees alongside our roads and stuff. Yeah, they're pretty tall, about 25, 30 feet, something like that. I don't know. I ain't never measured them. And so the thing about this area though is when with these trees, they get cut back where there's an intersection, a driveway. There was also like a little small itty bitty BP gas station for those people that out there for a long time, and a produce farm.
Okay.
And I think they probably had like, I don't know, tomatoes, stuff like that. And like I say, trees are cut back around those areas. So I'm riding, and this was 2017, remember now. And I'm pretty sure I was listening to that Bruno Mars 24 Karat Magic album, jamming. I mean, just jamming. Okay.
That's life. Turned up. What?
Listen,
Get it.
listen. I used to bump that one. I love great music. I'm musically inclined like since birth. So I got everything. I got the ability to play it, sing it, produce. I've tried to do everything with it. DJ it, everything. I've tried to do it all. So, anywho, I'm listening to that album, and I mean everything was going amazingly until it wasn't.
What exactly?
And what I mean by that is a silver Honda Accord would pull out in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, what you doing? That's all I could think. What you doing? And now I can either go right, go into the trees, because there's nothing that I can like dip off the side of the road. There is no side of the road. On these back roads, these back highways in the Carolinas, there's no lip there. It's road, dirt. That's it. The next thing that's in between the road and the dirt is that line that you don't want to be on when it's wet. And so I can go right, go into the trees. I can go left and go into oncoming traffic. Or I could do what ended up happening, and that's hitting him. I froze up and I hit him. I took all those motorcycle riding courses, okay? They teach you how to do things at like a parking lot maneuvering speed. They don't teach you nothing about when you're running 55 miles an hour and a car pulls out in front of you.
Right.
They don't tell you on May 5th, 2017 at approximately 2 p.m. a car is going to pull out in front of you. No, no, no. This is real life.
And when this car pulled out in front of you, you was behind the car or like on the side of the like
Yeah, he was pulling out to be in the same lane.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
And so the result of it left took oh my goodness, I couldn't imagine. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Um the result was it took your vision.
Well, that's one of the things. I mean, the impact crushed my face in, first and foremost. So my face was literally crushed in, which is why I had to have a trach.
Mm.
Um, that's not just for show. That's what I literally had to have one. Two metal plates in my head to reshape my head. Can you see that little groove right here?
Yeah, I can see it a little bit.
Yeah, that's a metal plate.
Look at God.
Yeah, that's that metal plate. You see the scar right there?
Uh-huh.
Can you see what's going up right there?
Yeah, I can see that. Oh my
That,
goodness.
by the way, that goes all the way across the top of my head to the other
Wow.
ear. That's because my brain was having so much swelling that they had to cut it open to relieve the pressure.
Mm.
My right eye was popped out because the bottom portion of my eyelid on this right side was ripped off somehow. No clue how. They remade it with skin grafting from my left clavicle, which is the collarbone area,
Mm-hmm.
and they remade it. My jaw was broken, teeth were chipped, it cracked, knocked, some was knocked loose, so I had to get those taken out. Root canal after root canal after root canal. I don't want to see another dentist,
I know that's right.
all from one accident. And I ain't even went to the rest of my body. That's just the top part. That's my head. I have a lot of like scarring and damaged blood vessels, especially in my left eye. My left eye sees nothing. My right eye, I could see light perception,
Yeah.
but it has to be like super bright. So it's got to be like sunlight or that really annoying light they shine in your eye at the doctor's office,
Oh,
and
you
it
can
just
see
keeps
with that
shining.
light.
Say that again.
I said, oh, you can see with that bright stupid light. I can't stand that light.
Man, like, sheesh. But yeah, those are the only things that the only lights that I can really see. I can't see TV light. I can't see my phone light. Like even the little flashlights you got on your phone. I can't see none of that.
Yeah.
It's got to be like really high intense light. And then with my spine, it was broken. So from L4 to T2, I have 2 rods and 12 screws. And that's getting right there before you get into the paralyzation area. I think L5 or L6, somewhere around that area is where you start getting paralyzed from the waist down.
Yeah.
And so I'm right above it
Mercy.
by the grace of God. You know
Mercy.
what I'm saying? Right leg, femur, which is your thigh bone, that right there in that thigh area, that's the largest bone in your body, broke. Literally was poking out the back side of my leg. The left shin bone, so your tibia,
Mm-hmm.
from knee all the way to ankle, titanium. My right fibia, I fractured it. I guess they were able to put that back. I'm not sure. And my right foot has a screw in it, a metal screw in it, and it's also a different size than the left foot. So my left foot is the same size that it was before the accident, a 10. My right foot is an 11.
Gotcha.
So I literally had to get custom made shoes. I had to go to the podiatrist and get custom made shoes. I mean, they feel amazing though. They feel
Everything
amazing.
you want.
Listen, when I'm in them shoes, you can't tell me nothing, okay?
It's some perks to it, I try to tell you.
Everything you want, and it's crazy because I told somebody, oh, it was my pastor. He was picking me up for rehearsal. I sing in a quartet group with him, and he was picking me up for rehearsal, and I was like, "You like my new shoes?" And he said, "Man, yeah, those look nice." I said, "They're custom made, customized to my feet." He said, "Man, I want to be when I grow up." I said, "That be careful what you ask for." He's like,
Right.
"What you mean?" I said, "I had to get custom made shoes because of my accident. My feet are now two different sizes."
Mhm.
He's like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, my left is a 10 and the right is an 11." He said, "I'll let you keep those."
I'm halfway with you. My left foot is a little bit longer by halfway because I had to get
Mm,
my toes extended. So
mm.
it stretched out a little bit thanks to stroke. But it is
Oh,
what it
okay,
is.
yeah,
We keep it moving.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
I want
No,
to know how did you stay so positive? Because I know you didn't stay that way. I mean, start that way, did you? Or did you start
uh,
that way?
no, no. What I'm gonna tell you how I started. I started confused.
Yeah.
That's how I started because literally, so May 5th was the accident in 2017. I didn't come to out of my medically induced coma until June the 6th. So I lost an entire month of my life. I mean, I can probably go back to UNC Hospital and find it, but I don't want to. I don't want to go back in that hospital.
Right.
I went there the last time I went to that hospital. I think it was an ER visit for my eye. It was really dry. That's
Uh-huh.
the last time I went there. For me to be there for like 4 hours just for them to tell me I need some eye drops. Really? I hate the ER.
I can't stand when they do stuff like that.
Yeah, so I was confused. I was trying to figure out what happened, why did it happen, when did it happen, where did it happen, how, who did this? Was it in the military? Oh, it was a motorcycle accident. Wait a minute, motorcycle. Like when
Yeah.
I tell you, here's a nugget if nobody knows this. For those who don't know this, put it that way. Your brain in a day, a 24-hour time span, can create 40,000 thoughts. 40,000 thoughts in one day. I hadn't talked to anybody when they told me I was in a motorcycle accident for a whole day. So now I'm sitting with all these crazy thoughts of what happened, what could happen, what can happen, what I don't want to happen. Like I am thinking of everything.
Yeah.
If you ever wanted to tell somebody to shut up, I wanted to tell myself, at least my brain anyway, because I couldn't talk. My jaw was right shut. So I couldn't talk at all when I first came to.
Yeah.
Which was scary as in itself. So I woke up without sight. I woke up without being able to talk because my mouth being wired shut, and I didn't know yet, but I couldn't smell either. I still can't smell, and that's because of my face being crushed in when they had to reconstruct it to what you see now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so I still can't smell, and I mean, you don't really miss it until somebody say, "Man, you smell that?"
Right.
I'd be like, "Nah,
Right. Right.
I don't smell it." And then when they say, "Ooh, you smell that?" I'd be like, "Ooh, no, but thank God."
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So it's got good and bad. It's the pros
I
and
got you.
cons. So uh yeah, I was confused. What I did do was I started to seek answers. Because as long as you stay in whatever your mindset is or thoughts are, you're not going to get the whole story. I need
Right.
the story. I need the whole story. I need the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, as they say in court. Anyway, I started to get answers, and that actually started to help me not only understand what happened, but relieve pressure off of me. I was putting so much pressure on me that wasn't even for me. It
Mhm.
was my fault. It wasn't.
Right.
I was
What were
thinking
you
I was
doing?
unsafe. I wasn't.
Right.
All this stuff. That's what I'm thinking. And there's things I was piling on myself. So once I started getting all those answers, that's when things started to lighten up for me.
Who did you go to for your answers?
Well, I mean, anybody who had them. My mom, my girlfriend,
Yeah.
the police. You know, the police report.
Uh-huh.
Um, the lawyers. Anybody who had answers, I'm looking for 'em.
No, I love that, and I ask that because it's important that people understand that you have to face the thing that you went through in order to get the answers you need to move forward. Sometimes you got to go backwards to go forward. So I'm
Right.
sorry. Okay. Okay. Um. So let's see. What was I supposed to ask you? Stroke brain, because see,
Yeah, I
I
know.
have stuff too.
I know. I do. I know.
No, but you went through all this stuff. I'm just over here imagining and watching you be a miracle and just like God literally picked you up in every piece of the way and like you walked with him and he walked with you and you still doing this and you
Hmm.
building businesses and man,
Hmm.
I'm amazed by you.
Well, I appreciate it. I mean, honestly, it's nothing but the grace of God.
Abs-
To Him be all the glory, literally, because I would not be here without Him. Every single doctor and nurse that saw me, touched me, whatever, when I was in that ICU, did not see me making it out of the ICU.
How did you feel at one point or the whole time about like your recovery and life after? And because, like I said, I know you wasn't always your sarcastic, beautiful self. So you had to go through some things to get to who you are. So, how did you become this, Kijuan?
It, it's cliche, but it literally took a day at a time.
Yeah.
It literally, you first off, you have to give yourself grace, because without it, you're gonna put, like I was doing. This is what I was doing. I was putting unneeded pressure and stress on myself because I wasn't allowing myself the grace to now cope and deal with what the reality is.
Right.
You know what comes with that. You start to go into denial.
Yep.
No, face the reality, man. We gotta. I have a chapter in my book. It says embrace and confront the issue.
Mhm.
That's a chapter in my
So,
book. And when y'all read it, y'all gonna understand what I'm talking about. What I'm saying there is I had to embrace the reality of what is now me, Kijuan Amey. And then when I confronted the issue, because I kept trying to run from it, I'm gonna get my eyesight back. Everybody, I'm saying I'm gonna get my eyesight back. Everybody I talk to, oh man, you'll get it back. Oh man, keep praying, you'll get it back. You know what? Let me pray for you. I know you'll get it back. Hey, listen, the more y'all do that, the worse it makes me feel. Because
right.
I wake up every day, day after day after day after day, hoping that when I open my eyes that next morning, I'm gonna be seeing y'all. So
Mm,
can we stop?
right.
And it's not to say that it can't be done. It's to say that I just want to be free.
Yeah.
Let me be free from that thought right now. If it happens, hallelujah. You know what I mean? But if it doesn't, I'm going to keep going.
That's the part. That's
Regardless, I'm going to keep going. And so the biggest thing, yes, I was not the smiling, happy, joy, go lucky joy. It's the person that you see right now in front of you. Because there were times when I would literally hear somebody come in the door in the house, and I would connect to whose voice it was, and I would get up. I mean, you would see mean mugs that I had never made before in my life. I didn't even want to hear that person's voice. Oh, what are they doing here? Oh, it's you again. Oh, here she go being loud. Like I'm doing it all. And
mm,
I'm nowhere near them. They're in the front of the house. I'm in the back of the house in my room. and I'm doing that.
Yeah.
That's when I knew something was not right inside of me. Whether it was in my spirit, my heart, my mind, all of it. Something just wasn't right. And that's when I knew I had to turn it around. I had to figure it out. Because it all starts with the mindset. You
Mhm.
do nothing without your mind.
Period.
And I mean nothing, absolutely. The way I just move my hands, you can't do that without your mind. Your mind tells you to do that.
Yeah.
The way I'm talking, I can't do that without my mind. My mind tells me to do that. It's moving my lips for me, my tongue, all of that. So unless you get your mindset in a positive manner, you're going to be in a negative manner. And you're going to be sitting there looking at the problem versus trying to figure out the solution.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. I love that. That is so for real, for real.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's around what I be around here popping these videos out here about just trying to get that positive mindset of people because they got to recognize it literally starts with the strength in you in your head and
Hmm.
in your body, and it all works together. So,
Yes.
but the mind is what does it. So, with your mind, so you basically had to have everything rebuilt. Does it? I know it definitely had to do a lot of there. I couldn't talk good. Rewiring.
Hmm.
Did yours do majority of the rewiring and everything at the top is good?
I'm gonna tell you like this. I took everything slow.
Okay.
I mean, I have a huge problem with this right now. We, especially as Americans, are some of the most impatient people in
Yep.
the world. I think I'm actually thankful that I didn't have to work or wasn't trying to fight to get back to work. I'm serious because I would have been trying to rush. I wouldn't have been taking my time with healing. I wouldn't have been taking my time with like taking the correct steps. I had to learn how to walk again. And if I'm still, stumbling over myself, I could become a tripping hazard. I could fall down a flight of steps.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So the fact that I took my time with this thing and me, what's actually funny because they say, um, how they talk about the tortoise and the hare, the
Right.
story of the tortoise and the hare, and but the hare, their hare never wins. He's faster, but the tortoise somehow, yeah, all right, yeah, you move pretty quick, yep,
I love him.
but you better watch out for that tree.
You
Sorry,
good at
you
it.
know what I mean? And so, that's what people who are impatient do. They hit some kind of block, whether it's like the hare where you run into a tree or you hit some kind of stumbling block in your life. Now you're set back, and I'm still slowly creeping along right past you to my finish line.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Now you're set back. Who's still going? Me. If we just take the approach of life is come on, Nipsey Hustle. Life is not a sprint, but a marathon.
Uh-huh.
If
That's the
we take
truth.
that approach,
That's the
we
truth.
would get through life so much easier.
That's
Everybody's trying to get rich quick. Everybody's trying to be famous quick. Everybody's trying to go viral. Listen, hey. So I've been doing these podcasts like frequently, shall I say. I've been doing them for a while, years now, but now I've kind of crunched up, like dialed in. I'm ready to go. I want to do podcasts, turned it up to the max.
okay.
I've been cranked up like this since the month of February. Listen to me. When I tell you my timeline on Instagram, that feed is like flooding. If you go look at all the people who keep tagging me and posting, I'm like, man, I should have did this a long time ago. because because what did I do? I didn't jump out in here. I
Right.
slowly ran my race until the point where people found me.
Uh-huh.
And then I figured it out. I said, I know what I need to do. I need to reach out to people. They want connection. They want real stories. They want real life.
Right.
They don't want that
Absolutely.
fake stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's what I had to understand. Everybody trying to be fake. Who are you when you take off? And I wrote a post about this maybe a year or two ago on Facebook. I said, when you peel back all the layers of you, who are you really? Do you even know who you are?
Uh-huh.
Because you put on that wig, you put on your lipstick, you put on your eyeliner, you put on some mascara, you put on you put on makeup, you done got your boobs done, your butt done, your tummy tucked. Who are you?
Hmm. You ain't lying. That part, is so much of that out there is ridiculous.
Yes.
That the first thing is the layer of the inside, and people don't know who they are. And I'm so glad that you kind of rediscovered yourself and you've been building. So before we get off here, we definitely got to try to talk about your business. You're the founder
Yeah.
and the CEO.
Oh yeah.
Did you do all that? How long ago?
Amey Motivation, I established that in 2019. So 2019 is when that came about. And of course, I just started off doing the speaking thing. I was speaking at high schools, uh, speaking to football teams. Went back to talk to my high school, churches. Start off in churches, and the little thing. I slowly built my snowball up.
Right. Well, can people go and find you and buy like maybe swag bags and all kinds of goodies and stuff like that?
I wish I eventually it's coming, but I
Got you.
have merch. My merch is usually on hand when I go places.
Got
Like, when I'm actually at a speaking engagement, I bring stuff with me. I bring my books, I bring, some bags like drawstring bags, ink pens. I got the metal ink pens with the stylus on it
Yeah.
that you can put on like a tablet or something.
Right.
I got water bottles. I got like the towels with Amey Motivation on it.
Oh,
I got things like that, and I bring
good.
it with me. That way, I can have something also to sell when I'm at these events. But if you want to have said events with me there, you could go to my website, which is ameymotivation.com. That's AMEY motivation.com. And you can also buy my book off of there. Don't focus on why me from motorcycle accident to miracle. That link will probably take you to the Amazon page. And that's where you can get the paperback version. But I also have it on Kindle. And then the audio versions are from Audible and Apple Books. And then if you scroll down a page, I believe it is, you'll see the book me link. And that's where you can, book me for a conference, a convention, an event, a gala, whatever it is that you want me to be there for. Let's collaborate. Let's do it. Let's get me in there. And like I said, I have videos on my website as well. Feel free, browse around.
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. You came ready. That was like what? Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, this ain't my first rodeo.
I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing. I see it. I hear it. I feel it. And you're doing big things, and it's powerful. And the message is deep.
Thank
That's
you.
the biggest part. The message is deep and it's
Yeah.
real, because you went through something that most people not only would have just gave up, but some probably wouldn't even have to fight.
Yeah.
It takes fight to get through all the things you've been doing, going through, and probably still going through, and living this life and going through this journey and just experiencing the world. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why I said I was honored to talk to you and just give you this moment to just kind of go in and just talk and be free, because your story is amazing. And that is the definition of resilience on a whole different level,
Oh
on
yeah.
a different continent of being. And I want people to not only hear your strength, but pull in from it and,
Hmm.
see a black man thriving and
Hmm.
with power and loving life and giving back and building foundations and creating dreams and man just doing real big
Hmm.
things. But I can't wait to see how much further you go and how much further we go together, because I plan on doing some collabos with you. We got some things
Yeah.
to do and some
Okay.
events to do and all that good stuff. And
Yeah.
stroke community in that world is
Mm-hmm.
kind of on the same thing that you're doing, like I said. So I look forward to our endeavors. But I
Yeah.
want to thank everybody for tuning in, for joining us, being a part of this world, and never give in to giving up, knowing that everything you go through has purpose. You're here on purpose with purpose. Don't stop dreaming. Always shine your light. Come through with that strength in you, boo. I thought I did it. Wait. We hit you with that strength in you. We hit you with that strength in you. You got your motivation, you got your inspiration, you got the fuel to feed, hey, every nation. You came through, we strengthen you. You came through, we strengthen you. You got the fuel to do what you do.